All right, hello everyone. I'm fine, how are you? I didn't sleep great, but I'm okay. I feel a little foggy today. So I probably won't be great at answering questions today, but I'll do my best. Hello, Julia. Hello, hello. Julia, I don't really have a topic. I have not really done any topics recently. I'm too busy. And I don't know, I guess I kind of lost interest a little bit. So, if you have questions, you can ask me whatever questions you have about whatever English topic, or even not English, whatever, you know. I will probably try to talk about a few things today. If I can get my mind clear, then I will try to think about, maybe I'll teach you guys a little more about etymology or something like that. I've lost the fever for the flavor. Sure, ask anything. What is Jeopardy? Well, Jeopardy is a few things. It's a really interesting word, actually. So the most popular meaning of the word Jeopardy is it's a TV show. It's a game show, a trivia game show called Jeopardy. It's the most famous trivia game show of all time. It has been on TV since the 80s. I think. I want to say like 88, 89, something like that, maybe. So that's the most popular meaning. If you hear people talking about, I was watching Jeopardy the other day, then they're talking about the TV show. But the word Jeopardy itself is actually kind of interesting. It comes from French, jeu party, which the original meaning, I'm sure I'm mispronouncing that, but in French, the original meaning of Jeopardy means a lost game. Or it's a game where you have equal chance of winning or losing. So, It means uncertainty. So if you put something in jeopardy, it means you're putting it at risk of something going wrong, something bad, right? So maybe you needed a loan for your business, so you put your house, you got a second mortgage on your house, and that puts your house in jeopardy because now it is uncertain if you will get it back or not. Okay, so basically the word jeopardy, it means the risk of uncertainty. Hello, thank you, CC. Can I pronounce the sound in accent? So, in the word accent, you have two vowels there. You have the short A and the short E. So the short A is a big open mouth. Like pretend you're eating an apple. Accent. Then you have two C's there too, right? There's the first hard C and the second soft C. Alex, my tips for you to become fluent in English are: 1, you should come watch me often. 88,000 people do. 2, you can follow my YouTube channel. I'm on YouTube right now. This is on YouTube. Everything I do here is on YouTube. I answer thousands and thousands and thousands of questions. No exaggeration. They're on my YouTube channel. I also have a website. You can check that out. I also have a blog. And on my blog, since you're talking about fluency, there are 3 articles that you should read. Here is one of them. The Complete Guide to Fluency, How to Think in English. Here's the second one. How to Create a Vocabulary Learning System. And the third one is called The 8 Pillars of Language, The Balance Behind True Fluency. Whoops. Those 3 articles would be a really good place for you to start if you're trying to become fluent. All right? Hello, Waleed. Hello, Holvin. The word wrap, W-R-A-P, is the same as R-A-P. W-R-A-P and R-A-P, wrap. They are the same sound. Okay? There is no special way to make one. They're the exact same thing. Okay? Do infixes really exist in English, or are they just slang and informal expressions? For example, words like fan-freaking-tastic. They really exist. Are they official? No, probably not. So because they're not official, they're at the very least considered informal, and possibly you could categorize them as a kind of slang. You could maybe consider them to be a certain form of slang. Yeah. Fan-freaking-tastic. Yeah, sure, no problem. You can do it that way. You can think of it that way. And yes, of course, they really exist. Yeah, and we use them. Excuse me. Ciao, Fabio. Hello, Islam. Oh, you always write it wrong. Well, If you write it wrong, that's because you're not thinking of it right. When you think of the word wrap, W-R-A-P, you should be thinking of a present, like you're wrapping a present. When you think of the word R-A-P, you should be thinking of hip-hop or, urban poetry or the sound of someone knocking on the door. Yeah, how to deal with the consonants? It's just practice, really. You have to be familiar with them. Words are friends. If you spend time with them, you will remember them. If you don't spend time with them, you won't. It's very, very simple. Why do you remember people? Because you spend time with them. You don't remember people if you didn't spend time with them. Words are the same thing. Okay? Same thing. When should you use verbs ending in ing, the gerund form? So, in most verbs, for most verbs, you can say things two ways. You can always say things two ways. I like to walk. I like walking. I like to run. I like running. I like to jump. I like jumping. I like to swim. I like swimming. So the rule is, if you use the word to, then you don't need the ing. But if you have the word to, right? So if you say, I like to run, no ing. But if there is no to, I like running. Okay? Hello, Vera. You hear it as rap and rap. Waleed, I don't know what that means. There is no difference in the sound of those two words. They sound the same, man. You cannot do it by the sound. You have to memorize the way that they are because you're familiar with them. Okay? And that's why it's not memorizing, it's familiarity. Memorizing is when you try to become familiar within a very short period of time without actually spending time. That's why it doesn't usually work. But if you spend time with the words, then you will remember. Okay? When you see them, you hear them. Okay, but you need to... When you see them, you need to imagine them. You need to imagine what they are. Okay? Connect them with a picture more than a sound. Okay? Hello, Yaslin. Hello, Majda. As far as affixes go, I know prefixes, suffixes, and infixes are those the only types, or are there others in English? They're the only ones that you need to really be worried about or concerned about are the affixes, prefixes, and suffixes. Infixes are really not that important to focus on. I don't usually teach them at all. But prefixes and suffixes are extremely useful because if you learn one prefix, the other day I was teaching about, I think it was the prefix for P-R-E. And there are like 400 or 500 words that have P-R-E in them, right? So, and then we did R-E, and there were like 600 words that had R-E in them, right? So it's a very effective and efficient way to increase your vocabulary by learning the root words, which is what suffixes and affixes and prefixes are. They're just root words. Okay? Ask me a question. That's the topic. Ask me questions. You want to ask about the word cringe. Okay? What about it? You want to know what it means? Cringe means this. Like, if you see somebody do something that you think is bad and you do this face, ooh, don't do that. That's cringing. To cringe is to make that face. Like, ooh, don't do that, man. Oh, man. What are you doing? What are you doing? Right? When you watch TV and you see that movie with the dumb guy who's in love with the girl and he does every stupid thing that you can think of, and you're going like, oh, that's so cringe. Yeah, that's as an adjective. To cringe is to be cringe, right? So when you see somebody do something that's like, oh, I'm cringing because they are so cringe. That's so cringe. Okay, now, as an adjective, I believe it's really only a slang word. As a verb, it's a real word. But as an adjective, I don't think that the adjective form is an official form. I believe that's just a popularization. What's the difference between staggering, astonishing, and stunning? Let's see. I think that in many cases you could switch those words, right, interchangeably, right? So if I would say like the numbers of this year are staggering, or the numbers this year are astonishing, or the numbers this year are stunning. Technically, you could use those in either of them. Any of them would be fine. Okay? Staggering, I think, is often used in more of a negative sense. Right? So if I said the numbers were staggering, I would imagine somehow it's something bad. Okay? But astonishing and stunning, those are often good words. Okay? As a matter of fact, stunning is a word, sometimes I might say a girl, she looks stunning. Maybe she, got dressed up to go out. Wow, you look stunning. I'm stunned. Okay? To be stunned means to be like, wow, shocked. Right? So to stun someone actually means to, shock them into freezing. Okay? You're stunned. Okay? Or that something bothers you or shocks you so much that you're... Okay? So, in many cases, I think there would be many, many cases where those words, you could use any one of them and they would be fine. But in some cases, I would use staggering more for negative things and astonishing and stunning more for good things. When do we use ing after to, as in looking forward to seeing you again, as opposed to looking forward to... Okay, I think you meant to say looking forward to seeing you again as opposed to looking forward to see you again. And the to is not the important part in that, but let's see. In that case, let me think about my answer for just a moment. Looking forward to seeing you again as opposed to looking forward to see you again. They both are fine. They just say the same thing in a slightly different way. Okay, so the first one is looking forward to seeing you again. I will be seeing you. Okay, fine. Or, I'm looking forward to see you again. I will see you. Okay, now, seeing with the ing would be the more common form. But I don't think you have any problem if you say, looking forward to see you again. I'm looking forward to see you again. But it should be, I'm looking forward to seeing you again. Okay? Now, as far as the when do we use it, this is the only case that I can think of if you can think of another one, then tell me. But this form of ing is an arbitrary form in this case. Do I recommend learning languages through AI? Yes. I recommend using AI to help you learn. Just imagine. Imagine that you are a student in 1980. Let's say it's 1980. And in 1980, computers were kind of new, okay? Like, my family did not get a computer until the mid-80s, like 87, 88, I think. All right? So, 1980, computers were really, really new. Okay? And I'm sure that there were some people who said, I'm not going to study with computers. I'm not going to use those. They're wrong sometimes. I'm not going to use that technology because I can't trust it. Wouldn't you think that's stupid? Wouldn't you think that's incredibly stupid? You have somebody who wants to study something, and they have a new technology that's an amazing technology, and you have two people, one guy who is studying it with the computer and one guy who's studying it without. You would think he's stupid. You should. Okay, so yes, you should use it. Yes, you should use it. Is it perfect? No, but it's great. Okay? All right, next question. What about the structures that are important for improving speaking or English speaking? Sentence structures are something that you get used to in time. Reading helps a lot. If you read, you'll see more sentence structures, especially if you read a lot. You can read different books and see, oh, look, in this book they use more of this sentence structure, right? If I read something like The Count of Monte Cristo, that's a little bit older, and it was originally a French book, well, it's got a little bit of a different way of writing, a different way of sentence structure throughout the book. It's more formalized sentence structure. But if I read something like, Facebook, the sentence structure is going to be very different, Okay? So sentence structure, if you want to work on sentence structure, that would be a very good thing to ask AI to help you with. Ask AI to, one, show you the many different kinds of sentence structures that you can learn. Two, ask it to analyze your writing. Write 500 words, write 1,000 words of something, right? Write 1,000 words of something about, your hobby that you love, right? And then tell AI to look at your writing and then analyze your sentence structure to see what you're doing that's right and what you could be doing better. All right? Hello, everyone. Okay, again, do I have tips for people who want to speak English fluently? Yes. 1, follow me. 2, go to my YouTube. Follow that. 3, go to my website. Follow that. 4, go to my blog. Follow that. 5, here's one article that I wrote about fluency. Read it. Here's another article that I wrote about fluency. Let's see. And finally, here's the third article you should read for fluency. Do I think age makes it difficult to learn another language? No. I don't think age makes it difficult. I think being busy makes it difficult. I think that the older you get, you make choices that now your life is full of work and making money, which means that your life does not have enough time for development, self-development, and education is self-development. So that means that the education that you get is limited. But it's not limited because of your age. It's limited because of your priorities at your age. Okay? I don't think you get dumber as you get older. I think that what happens is you do stop learning. And when you stop learning, the minute you stop learning, you get old. That's how that works. If you want to know what old looks like, did you stop learning? Because if you did, you're old. Look forward to is a preposition, not the infinitive form. I was going to say that too, Vera. I was thinking about that as I was reading it. I was like, I don't think looking forward to in this case is actually a preposition. It's a, yeah, I'm sorry, an infinitive. It's a preposition I meant. I'm saying it backwards. Yeah, I was going to say that, and then I forgot to, actually. So thank you for reminding me. It was in my head as I was explaining it, and then I forgot to go back and mention that. So thank you. You're right. Okay. Saif, did you ask me a question that you know the answer to? Is that what you just did, Saif? Did you ask me a question that you already know the answer to? I don't understand what you're trying to get out of me. Let's see. Anne says, I know more than and over are technically different, but do I actually have to use them differently? Yes, you do have to use them differently, only because I think there are some situations where one will be used that the other can't be used, right? So if I say I'm over it, that does not have the same meaning as if I say I'm more than it. Okay, so over can have a few different meanings. Okay? This TV show is over. The movie is over. Over can mean finished. Okay? But more than, right. So if I say there are more than 100 people in this class, or there are over 100 people in this class. In that case, they are pretty much the same. But one is saying more than, right? So it's 100 plus, and one is just saying over, as though it's like a bar to get over. That's all. Okay? But in those two cases, that'd be roughly the same meaning. Okay? But over has more than that meaning. More than just that meaning. Okay? That's the AI response you just posted, so then what are you asking me for? If you're going to ask AI, what are you asking me for? If I could clarify. Okay. I can clarify because, see, this is why you do need a human rather than just AI. But I'll tell you what you should do, Saif. AI gave you that answer. Did you tell AI, I don't understand, that's too complicated? You should say to AI, what are you talking about? because the answer it gave, it said, to can be followed by the base verb infinitive to run or by the form gerund noun, e.g. running, depending on the preceding word, with the ing form used after prepositions or certain verbs like looking forward to. This is why everyone hates grammar, because that explanation is a dog shit explanation. I'm sorry, pardon my language, but yeah, that explanation is more confusing, not less confusing. Explanations are supposed to be less confusing, but grammar doesn't seem to understand that most of the time. So, the basic thing that you need to know is looking forward to is not a preposition in this case. That's all you need to know. Okay? That's all you need to know. Okay, next question. What do I think about the 90s? It was okay. I lived through it. It was okay. I was in high school. I graduated high school in 1993. So, I don't know. It was okay. The music was not bad. A lot of the music was pretty good. I wasn't into a lot of it, but there was some good stuff. I think after the 90s, music definitely kind of went a slightly downhill after that. Mostly because of after the 90s is when technology became much, much more critical to music. So before the 90s, technology is not involved as much. It's mostly human. So you're hearing real music. But after the 90s, a lot of the music you hear is... it's not even human anymore because... and I don't mean AI. I mean just that they fix everything. It's not natural anymore. There's no human error. There's no humanness to it. Okay? Let's see. Next question. What kind of books should you read? Whatever you like to read. Of course. Okay? Hello, Doris. Hello, Libra. James, I like all kinds of music. There are only two kinds of music, James. Good music and the other kind. Hello, Carlos. And Anne, that's okay, don't worry about it. How many words to reach C1? I have no idea. There is no answer to that question. No one can answer that question for you, really. Okay? Please be patient. I'm trying to catch up with the comments. He is over there. What does it mean? Sky. It means he is over there. Look, there he is, over there. There, over there. Okay? Libra, you want to ask me a question? Then ask me a question. You want to improve your listening skills, what should you do? You should listen every day, but listen to people who speak well. Listen to people who speak well. Yes, that's right. You point to a place that's not close to the speaker, but he's visible. Right, correct. Vera, are you a teacher? You sound like you're a teacher. Maybe you should be on the microphone. Maybe people said practice and practice daily, but I don't know where I can start. Or many people. Okay, so you're right. You don't know where you can start. That's right. That's the biggest mistake people make when they're trying to learn anything. You don't have a plan. If you don't have a plan, then everything you do is unorganized and really inefficient. So you're never going to learn well. But if you sit down and make a plan, so do you have a plan for reading? What are you going to do? What kinds of reading can you do? Do you have websites? Do you have books? Do you have articles? What are you doing? What is your plan for reading? What is your plan for writing? How are you going to work on your writing? What will you write? Will you use AI? Do you have any books to help you with writing, or any websites to help you with writing, or apps to help you with writing? What is your plan for writing? Write it down. Do you have a plan for listening? Do you have a list of places to go to listen to things? TED Talks and YouTube channels that are good for listening, and English teachers who teach, useful tips, okay? Or websites that have good videos that are at a good level for you, right? With proper language, right? That's your listening plan. So you need a plan for 8 different things: reading, writing, listening, speaking, thinking, grammar, vocabulary, and pronunciation. You need a written plan. Write it. Write it. If you didn't write it, you don't have it. In the beginning of the sentence, can you use words with ing too? Yes, you could in certain cases, but it would be a not common way to start a sentence. Like I could say, like, walking to the store with my dog yesterday, I noticed the girl across the street. Okay, I could start my sentence with walking to the store with my dog the other day. Sure, I can. But I could also say, I noticed a girl across the street the other day when I was walking to the store with my dog. Okay? Yes. Muhammad, how can I learn 2 languages, or can I learn 2 languages at the same time? Yeah, you can, okay, but it's harder, all right? And nobody has any idea how much longer it will take. When you ask questions, Muhammad, I'm not trying to insult you. Please don't take this the wrong way. But when you ask questions like, how much longer will it take to learn something? It tells me you don't understand learning, especially if you say something like, how much longer will it take if I'm learning Spanish and English? Can I do it in 2 years? Or can I do it in 10 years? Just because you ask that question, it tells me you don't understand how learning works, because it doesn't work like that. No one can tell you how many days it will take, how many hours it will take, or how many months or years it will take. It takes as long as it takes. Learning is a journey, not a destination. Okay? If it's not a destination, then you can't get there. If you can't get there, then you can't say how many days or months or years it will take. It's a journey. Okay? It takes a long time. Okay? What's the difference in feeling between synonyms meticulous and detailed? Meticulous, I think, would be, because it's more formal, it's a slightly more formal word than detailed. Sometimes when we use more formalized language, the elevated language makes it more strong, right? It's a stronger sound to it, right? So if I say he's very detailed in his work, that's good. But if I say he's meticulous, that is like, wow, I chose a word that's even more formal, so that must mean he's really detailed. All right? Wait a minute. Saif, can I ask you a question? Are you asking this, or let me ask you this, are you taking a grammar test? Are you taking the IELTS test or the TOEFL test? Is that why you're asking these questions, Saif, if you're still there? Yes, okay, fine. Then I will answer those questions for you. But I have to tell you something, Saif. These kinds of questions are the exact kind of thing that you should not study if you want to be good at English. These are the things you should study so that you can answer them on the test. But guess what? Life is not a grammar test, 1. And 2, you do not understand grammar by discussing it in that kind of a way. Okay? That's like talking about walking by discussing each muscle that you move in your body when you walk. Okay? So I can show you how to walk. I can say, here's walking. Or I can say, oh, okay, first you have to lift this muscle here. This is the blah, blah, blah muscle. And then this muscle here has to move. Then this other muscle has to move. Then this muscle, then this muscle, then this muscle, then this muscle. That's the way that you're talking about language when you talk about, is the preposition this and the gerund that and this before this and this before that? That's the same thing. And it's not a good way to think about language. But I will still answer your question. Okay, so just give me a minute here. You know, this is why I hate grammar too, and I'm an English teacher. All right, so here is the short, clean rule. Let me give it to you in 2 parts because it's too long. Here it is. Here's the first part. When to is a preposition, it is followed by a gerund. Okay, anytime to is a preposition, it's followed by a gerund. But when to is part of an infinitive, it is followed by the base verb. All right? Whoops. So, for example, in this, I am looking forward to seeing you. Here, to is a preposition. Okay, let's see, does that... gerund functions as a noun. Okay, that's the last part, is as a noun. Functions... Okay, so... it's seeing, not to see. Okay? So, and again, here's what I want to do. Look, all I did was ask ChatGPT, man. All I did was ask ChatGPT. And I think that you're afraid to ask ChatGPT because you're afraid that you can't understand it, or you're afraid that you don't know how to ask it. But I'm telling you, you should ask it the same way that you ask me. Just say, I don't understand that. That doesn't make sense to me. That doesn't sound like English. Yeah, but tell it that, Saif. Tell it that. Tell it. That's too complicated. That's not a good answer. I don't understand that answer. Yell at it. Okay, I love to yell at ChatGPT. I yell at it at least once a day. Okay? I yell at it all the time. Why not? You should yell at it. If you don't understand, yell at it. Okay? All right. Majda loves grammar. Well, God help you. How do we learn prepositions in an effective way? Muhammad, prepositions are difficult in English because there is always more than one possible answer. Okay, if I say I am at the store, that is a correct answer. That's at. At is a preposition, okay, describing where you are in place, right? But I could also say I'm in the store. Technically, those are almost the same. I can also say I'm on the store. Is it wrong? No, it's not wrong. It is different. It does describe a different thing. Why am I on the store? For some reason, I'm on the store. But it's not wrong. It's just describing it differently. Okay? So that's why that many people get confused with prepositions. But you want to know how to practice them? The same way we do. Repetition, 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 repetition. Repetition? Okay, so go to ChatGPT and say, please make a worksheet with 20 questions about prepositions for me. Do that every day for 1 month. Do one different worksheet every day for 1 month. Then you'll be fine. I'm sure that you will figure out prepositions. If you just do one worksheet of prepositions every day for 30 days. Okay? Repetition. 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 Can you take a course from me? You can take a course from me. If you can pay me, then yes, you can take a course from me. If you want to, you can go to my website and take a look at my website. I have lessons on my website, but they are not free because I am a teacher. It is my job. Teaching is how I eat. And Saif, I'm sorry if I got a little bit upset, but it's just that those kinds of questions are exactly why English needs an update. English needs a serious update because that entire explanation was terrible. It doesn't help anybody, but that's still what we explain things like. We still say, well, the gerund form has to be like this, and it's just so, it doesn't help anyone. Vera is definitely a teacher. I think Vera is definitely a teacher. You're afraid that ChatGPT is getting your data. Tony, are you a very important person, Tony? I'm not. My data, I take it. Fine. Really. Take all my data. You know why? I don't care. Because I'm not important. I don't have anything. I don't do anything. So what are you going to do with my data? What are you going to do with my birth date? Nothing. There's nothing for you to take, I assure you. So I don't care, and that's why I just use it. We have options like at and in, but when it comes to filling out the correct form of prepositions, it gets difficult. Again, I know, but I just think that this is one that you just need more practice with. Okay? You just need more practice, that's all. Okay? Muhammad says, I have a problem with listening, but the way you're talking is really understandable. I definitely understand everything you're saying. Muhammad, that's one, because I am a teacher. It is my job to try to speak well. Number two, I do exaggerate my pronunciation, and I slow down a little bit when I speak. And number three, I am using one of the nicest microphones that you can use. I spent all the money I have on that. So, all of those three things, those are why you can understand me more than other people. But what that means, Muhammad, is you can understand people, but you can only understand people who speak well. So right now, that's all you should do, is try to find people who speak well and listen to them. Don't try to listen to just some guy or just some girl on YouTube or TikTok. You are making your life harder when you practice listening, when you listen to people who are not great. You're making your life a lot harder. Why listen to people who don't speak well when you could listen to people who do? Okay? Yes, I am an English teacher. Hello, Spider. Can I explain on mind versus in mind? Is there a nuance? So on my mind and in my mind, I have something on my mind. Yeah, that's like something bothering me or something I'm thinking about. In my mind is more like something I'm considering or imagining right at that moment. Right? So if I say, I'm thinking of a number in my mind from 1 to 10. I'm thinking of a number in my mind from 1 to 10. What number am I thinking of? That's in my mind. Okay? On my mind is more like, I'm really worried about rent this month, so I have a lot of worry on my mind. Okay, my rent is on my mind. In mind, you could also say, I have something in mind, which means I have something I'm considering or something that I think will work. Okay? When to use awake? Yeah, so guys, I understand, right, that the internet has a lot of people, but I am very safe with my data in that I don't you're not going to get anything from me that you need to get anything of any value. And if you did, there's nothing of any value to get. But regardless, you're worried about something that might happen. And it just usually doesn't. I'm sorry. But it's just, I don't worry about it. And I don't want to talk about it anymore. It's so banal. I'm so sick of fucking worrying about everything, and I'm certainly sick of that. I am me. Here I am. I'm on the internet. I'm going to tell you my name. My name is Mark Sampson. You know my name. Oh no, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? You know my name. You see my face. Oh no, what are you going to do? Guess what? We're way past that now. We're way past that now. We're way past that now. Okay? If they want to steal something from you, it's going to get stolen. All right? So forget about it. Can I raise the level of conversation? No. I'm busy teaching. Sorry. You can go find something that's a higher level, but I'm not going to change the way I speak just for you. I need to help everybody. You watched the movie Pride and Prejudice, and the level in the English used in the movie got you perplexed. Pride and Prejudice is a very old novel. Okay, let's see. What year was Pride and Prejudice written in? It was written in 1813. 1813. That's a long time ago. The language was different a long time ago. So, of course, it's not the same as today. Okay? We don't talk like that anymore, though. Okay? So, when you read a book like that, you need to remember you're reading literature. Literature is sometimes not modern, it's historical. Okay? If you want to get used to non-native accents so you can understand them, can I listen to them? Yes, you can, Paulina. That would be one way. Or to just talk to people who are non-natives. Yeah. If you learn another language, will you maybe start forgetting English words? Yeah, maybe, Mohammed. Maybe. It's possible. Yeah, your brain can't handle everything. You can overload it. What's the feeling difference between calling a colleague reliable and consistent? Which one is a better compliment? Consistency is just they always do things the same way. That's consistent. Okay? So consistency is lower than reliable. Reliable means I can count on that person. If I need them to do something, they will do it. That's reliability. Okay? I can rely on them. Okay? Consistency is just every Monday they finish their work. Every Monday they finish their work. Every Monday they finish their work. That's consistency. Okay? Where's my cap? It's over there. Hello, Mia. Hello, Rena. What should I require for speaking in public? You're afraid? You should speak in public. Do you know how you can become confident? How do you become confident? So let me ask you a question. Nitesh, wait. Yeah, Nitesh, can you ride a bicycle? Nitesh, can you ride a bicycle? Let me check on my YouTube, people. Hello, Leonardo Farfan. Can I share those links? I can't share any links in my YouTube when I'm on my Hello Talk. I don't know how to do that, or maybe I can't. I don't think I can. So, Nitesh, can you ride a bicycle? Can you ride one? No. Not can you spell. Can you ride? Can you ride a bicycle? Do you have one? Can you ride one? Do you know how? Do you know how to ride a bicycle? Yes, you can. Okay, so when you are on your bicycle, are you confident? Are you confident on your bicycle? Do you feel good? Like, I can do this. I can do this. You feel good when you ride your bicycle, right? Okay, good. So how did you do that? How did you do that? Did you feel good the first time? Did you feel good the first time you rode a bicycle? No, you did not feel good the first time you rode a bicycle. So you did it again and again and again. And each time you do it, you feel a little bit better, right? So, Nitesh, if you want to feel better about speaking in public, what should you do? If you want to feel better about speaking in public, you should speak in public. Just like if you want to be confident on a bicycle, you have to get on and ride it. Okay? If you ride it, you get confident. So if you get on stage and do it, you get confident. All right? You will never get confident if you don't get on stage. All right? Yeah, join Toastmasters or just talk every day to people. Okay? All right. I don't think I saw that movie, so I can't comment on that movie, Tenet. I don't think I saw that. Your English level is B1. What's the best way to reach C1? B1 is a big level. B2 is a big level. It's going to take you a long time. Muhammad, every level is a neighborhood. A1 is a small neighborhood. You can learn it quickly. A2 is a small neighborhood. You can learn it quickly. B1 and B2 are huge, big neighborhoods. They take a lot longer to learn that neighborhood. Okay? So, focus on that for now. Okay? But, how do you reach C1? If you're at A1, if you are A1 level, then you should study A1, but you should do some A2. You should always reach for the level above you, right? So if you're A2, you should do A2 level things, but you should always reach for some B1 level things. If you're at B1 level, you should do B1 level stuff, but you should reach for B2 level stuff. If you reach, then you'll get there. If you never reach, you'll never get there. Okay? How to use ellipsis effectively to avoid repetition. That depends on how you're writing. If you're writing for yourself, then use them however you want to use them. I use ellipses all the time. I love ellipses. I'll use them 10 times in one paragraph. You know why? Because guess what? That's my writing style. If I like it, I'll do it. That's how writing works. Okay? If someone says, you can't do that, I'll say, yes, I can. I just did. See? It's on the paper. I did it. All right? But if you're talking about a grammar test and you're talking about English classes, right? Then how do you avoid repetition? Don't use it very often. There are not very many, based on the rule or based on the definition of the ellipsis, there are not many reasons to use it. Okay? I use it all the time because I like it. That's called writer's license. Okay? You can do what you want to do if you say you want to do it. Okay? There's a famous writer named E.E. Cummings who never capitalized his letters. Is it wrong? No, it's right. It's his. Okay? Some people say that AI is going to replace humans, but I think AI will only replace us if we don't know how to use it. What do I think? I think AI will replace lots of things that need to be replaced. Not all work is actually that needed by us, okay? So throughout history, there have always been some jobs that eventually go away, and technology does that job for us now, okay? Did you know that in London, 200 years ago, if you were in London, there was a job. The job was that you would walk around and in the morning you would knock on people's windows. Like they would either have a ladder or they had like a stick or something. They would knock on your window to wake you up. The job was you were an alarm clock. You were an alarm clock. You woke around and you knocked on people's windows and said, hey, get up. It's time for work. Do we still have that job? No, we don't have that job anymore. Now we have alarm clocks. Okay? And when I was a boy, I had an alarm clock on my table. I don't have that alarm clock anymore. Now I have a phone. Technology replaces things. Technology always replaces some things. Some things need to be replaced. Okay? Now, will it replace everyone? No, I definitely don't think so. I'm actually a little bit optimistic. I'm a little bit optimistic because I think that AI will make real things by real people more valuable. So, yes, AI is going to be able to make many things, like it'll make music. No problem, it can make music right now. But do you want to hire the AI band to play at your party, or do you want me and my friends to come play at your party? So maybe the value of some things will actually increase because of the human part of it. Okay? What makes me feel enlightened for my future? Not much. I don't have a lot of... I'm a pretty cynical person, really. And I think there are a lot of dark times probably coming. But, how do I say this? When you throw a stone into the water, it destroys the image that's in that water. And for a moment, that image is gone. It's destroyed. But then the water will settle, and there will be a new image. That is where we are. We are right now in the stage of the rock is hitting the surface of the water. It's destroying the image that was there. But a new image will arise. We just don't know what that image will be yet. While speaking, how do you use ellipsis effectively while speaking? Okay, you don't. So, for example, when you're speaking, ellipses are just there to give a bigger pause. That's all. When you're speaking. Okay? You should never think about your pauses like they're repetitive. People need more space in their language. I do. I try to use space. ... I like space. ... Space is good. ... Please explain it more. Space. Okay. Music. How do you play music? We know that you have the notes, right? The notes are important, but guess what? The space between the notes is just as important. So when I have the song Fier Elise, if there's no space, then it sounds like this. No space. All right? Space is good. Wait, I have a better way to make it more effective. Space is
Good.
Do I think that writing short stories or writing stories and my own emotions every day consistently is a good way to get? Yes. Mohammed, I tell everybody that writing a diary or a journal is a great way to practice your English if you're learning English. So yes, writing a diary or a journal is great. Okay, I'd like to use fixed telephone because people won't be addicted to checking phones. Sure, yeah, I still have a flip phone that maybe I'll see if I can get my flip phone turned back on so I can just use a regular phone for some things. Does AI lead people's loss of work? AI will definitely eliminate a lot of jobs. Some of those jobs need to be eliminated. Who's going to correct your mistakes? ChatGPT? Sure. Why not? I use it to correct my mistakes. I'm a teacher, and I use it to correct my mistakes. There are a lot of materials for learning English. How can you catch up to all of them? You don't need all of them, but you should use all the ones that you think are good for you. Right? So Libra, I have at least 100 books for English, grammar, and writing, and the academic learning of English. I have at least 100, probably 200 books, okay, about that. But I think maybe I have about 60 grammar books, but I only really use one or two of them. So I have them all, but I only use a couple of them. Not all of them are actually good. Not all of them are actually great. Now, how can you know? You can't. You have to try, or you have to try, recommendations from somebody you trust. Okay? If you don't try, how do you know if it's good for you? You don't. Like I said, you have to try to. So, Libra, when I was 16 years old, I wanted to play drums like my heroes, right? I wanted to play drums like my favorite drummers. So what did I do? I looked in the magazine called Modern Drummer Magazine, and I looked for all my favorite drummers, and I read their articles, and I looked to see what books did this drummer use. What books did this drummer use? What books did this drummer use? And I started a list. And I said, well, if those books are good for those guys, then they must be good for me. So I used their recommendations. Okay? If you write a story or life advice, then you record your voice to make a video with calm music mixes with your voice. Do you think it's a good way? Mohammed, I think that sounds fun. I don't necessarily think that has anything to do with improving your English. But if it's a project, if this is something you are passionate about, if you want to give it life advice, right? If you want to give life advice or something like that, and that's a project you want to do and you're passionate about it, you should use your passion. Use your passion, right? Things that you're passionate about, that is the most special kind of energy that you can have. Okay? Passionate energy. So, if you're passionate about that, then do that and use that passion to help you improve your English. Okay? You don't know where to start first. If you're just talking about grammar books, is that what you're talking about? Just grammar books? Or just Hello, Molly. Can I suggest 5 basic things about speaking English? I'll tell you 4. I'll tell you 4 ways to practice speaking English. 1, try to find a native speaker like me. Go on HelloTalk. Make a friend. Make a friend. Make a friend. Do not just ask a stranger to teach you English. Do not ask a stranger to help you. They don't know you. They don't know you. Make a friend, make a friend, make a friend. After you make a friend, then you can ask them. But almost everybody on HelloTalk, they just message and say, will you please teach me English? I know you don't know me. I don't know you. But will you teach me English, please? No, it doesn't happen. Make a friend first. Then you can ask them to help you. Okay, so number 1, find a native speaker. You can find a native speaker in your city. Okay, maybe you live in a big city. If you live in a big city, there are native speakers of English there, somewhere. How can you find them? There is an easy way to find a native speaker in any country. If you find the food, you will find the foreigner. So go find the foreign food and you will find the foreign person eating it. Okay? If you go find a burger restaurant in your city on a Friday or Saturday, there will be some foreigners there eating burgers. Okay? So that's step 1, native speaker. Step 2, non-native speaker. Talk to other people like you. Your neighbor, maybe they want to practice their English too. Okay? Practice with them. Just because they're not perfect doesn't mean it's not good practice. Practice is practice. Okay? So get the practice, right? So that's the second way, is non-native speaker. The third way is, if you can't find a native speaker to practice with, and you can't find a non-native speaker who knows a lot that you can practice with, find somebody who doesn't know anything at all about English, and then teach them what you know. Teach your neighbor, teach your daughter, your son, teach your friend, teach your boss, teach the person sitting on the bus next to you. Okay? And then the fourth way, if you can't find a native speaker and you can't find a non-native speaker and you can't find someone to teach, then talk to yourself. Talk to the wall. Watch TV, and while the TV is playing, anything in your head, speak it. Whatever you're thinking about during the TV show, say it in English out loud. If you have a dog or a cat or a bird, talk to your dog, talk to your cat, talk to your bird in English. Okay? Libra, send me a private message. Send me a private message and I'll see if I can help you maybe later, okay? You want to work in a call center, but you're afraid of offending an angry American citizen. Well, working in a call center is all about talking to angry people. Most of the time when people call, they need help and they're not happy already, right? So if I'm calling because someone used my credit card or something like that, or I'm calling because I need a refund, I'm already not happy. Okay, so when you work at a call center, you are talking to angry people already. All right, so maybe don't do that job. That's not because all Americans are angry. It's because everybody gets angry when they need to call for help. All right, well, Muhammad, good for you. Then if you're passionate about it, then do it. Passion is good. Hello, Dana. Okay, so once again, if you guys don't know who I am, hi, I'm Teacher Mark. This is my YouTube channel. This is my website, and this is my blog. Not everybody on Hello Talk has a website or a YouTube channel or a blog, but I do. Okay, and they are all about English, mostly. 90% about English. Okay? Now, I have been here for 1 hour and 22 minutes. I have not talked to anybody on stage, and I know many of you are probably like, why doesn't he talk to anybody on the stage? I do sometimes. Sometimes, but not all the time. Okay? Because I'm trying to help as many people as possible, not just you. Okay? Thank you very much, Mohammed. Shukran. Do you have questions? Oh, you know, I have another article you should read. You should read this one. Impress me with your questions. Impress me with your questions. Good students have good questions. Okay? If I want to learn Chinese and I say, how can I be good at Chinese? Is that a good question? No. If I want to learn French and I say, how can I be good at French? Is that a good question? No. If I want to learn German, do I say, how can I be fluent in German? Is that a good question? No. You have to ask questions that I can answer. Okay? Yeah, big questions. If you give me a big question like that, I'm just going to give you a book and I'm just going to say, hey, go read that. I'll give you an English book and I'll say, here's an English book. Go read it. Can I speak a little Portuguese? I can say hola, I can say obrigado. And I can say, what is it? Feijoada, I think. The thing that's really yummy. Hello, Benjamin from Vietnam. My bottle is so big. Yes, it is. Hello, Carolina. Yeah, there it is. I can say those 3 words. I can say samba. I can say bossa nova. I can sing The Girl from Ipanema. I only know a little bit of Portuguese, only a few words. Just a few words. Waleed, the whole question about Irish accent in Boston. Let me see. So it says, Waleed, it says the Irish accent did not create the Boston accent, but it reinforced and shaped it. It blended with the existing language that was kind of a New England accent, which all of New England does kind of have a similar sound, okay? If you're in Maine or you're in Rhode Island or you're in Boston and New York, there are some similarities up in that region. And then it actually says it has Italian influences, that when they drop the R, like saying words like car to be ca, then that's apparently an Italian thing. So it says the core of the Boston accent comes from the 17th century settlers from East Anglia in England, not Ireland. So the majority of the Boston accent comes from the early English settlers and the mix of New England American accents. Okay? You work in a call center now. How can you calm down an angry American customer? Sometimes you can't, Ashraf. Again, don't think of it like they're American. I'm sorry, man, but look, if I talk to somebody in Egypt about something that they're mad about, then they're gonna be mad. Like they're mad is bad, right? So it's not because they're American, it's just because they're mad. How do you calm them down? You try to be patient. Okay? If they go up here, you go down here. Right? So every time they go louder, you say softer. That's how you maintain control of a situation like that. As a teacher, this happens to me sometimes. Maybe my student is angry and he's yelling at me. He's angry about something I did, a grade I gave him, right? So he goes and he's yelling at me, "Teacher Mark, I'm so mad you gave me this grade." So should I yell louder than him to show that I'm in control? No. I do the opposite. When he yells at me, I look at him and say, "Are you finished? Would you like to sit down and talk about it?" All right? Let's see. You can listen and read English and you can understand them, but if you speak, your brain seems to shut down. That's because 现在你没有英文的脑。现在如果你说英文，你需要想中文。不行 ，OK？ 你需要想的跟说的一样的。OK？ 如果你要说英文，你需要想英文。Okay? 如果我说中文，需要说想中文。Okay? I was saying, if you want to speak a language, you must think in that language. If you can't think in that language, then you can't speak well. Okay? When you're listening to Family Album USA, I usually ignore D, for example. I only hear I like. Well, that depends on the person. It depends on the clarity of their speech. Okay? Sometimes somebody speaks much more clearly. "I'd like some water, please." Some people might say, "I'd like some water, please." It depends on how you speak. Okay? If there isn't a partner, will reading loudly help? Possibly, but there is always a partner now. You can use AI. I speak English and I speak Chinese poorly, but I can speak it. What other languages do I want to learn? I would love to learn every language. If I could, I would learn them all. But I just want to learn a little bit of as much as I can. Well, when you go to Boston, yeah, there are a lot of Irish people there. There's a lot of Irish background there. But the language was the sound of the language and the accent was formed before the Irish people became the primary, or not primary, but major influence in Boston. Okay? I have never gone to Burning Man. No, that's not my kind of a thing. We're not really into that kind of a thing. Sometimes when Americans get angry, they speak in a difficult language. Yeah, when you get angry, sometimes you start speaking more quickly and you say, angry things. Yeah, I know, it's hard, Ashraf. You're ashamed of expressing your thoughts in some small meetings, but not in public. I don't know why. Swallow, that you just need more confidence. Swallow. If you want other people to take you seriously, right? You want other people to take you seriously, right? When they see you, you want them to think, oh, she's serious, right? If you want that, you can't get other people to think of you as serious unless you think of yourself as serious first. Okay? So if you want other people to take you seriously, then you have to take you seriously. Okay? If you believe in yourself, others might believe in you. But if you don't believe in yourself, no one will believe in you. Okay? What's the biggest challenge when learning a new language? I don't know. I'll tell you what I can guess. I think personally, the biggest challenge when you're learning a new language is understanding the parts of the language. Like, what are the parts of the language and how do I break this down? If you can't break it down, you can't learn it. So that's the art of learning anything, is if I want to learn science is too big. But what about astronomy? Okay, astronomy, that's one kind of science, but that's still big. So then I should study just this one planet, right? That's one thing I can study that's in that, right? So break it down, break it down, break it down. That's how you learn, okay? Do native speakers notice when learners mix British and American English? Probably some will. Maybe some will. I probably would. I have noticed some people who are like that, especially in China. A lot of people in China who studied British English when they were younger in the school, they used British English, but when they got older, they prefer American TV and movies and music, so they have like a mix of British and English, British and American English. You can understand me, but you can't understand Hollywood movies. Guess what? Hollywood movies are not for learning. If you go to school to learn English, are they going to play Hollywood movies in class? If I want to learn Hindi, if I go to India and I take a class to learn Hindi, are they going to play Bollywood movies for me to learn Hindi? No, because movies are for entertainment, not for education. They're for entertainment. Now, can you learn from them? Sure, you can. You can learn from them. But that doesn't mean that they're good for it, and it doesn't mean that they're the best way. Okay? Excuse me. Allergies are bad today. It's bad weather. If you can understand English, but when it comes to speaking, you're stuck, you can't find the words. Speak more. Okay, that will never go away because that is a human problem. I speak English. Sometimes I can't think of a word. There's a word I want to use, but I can't think of it. That's just called being human. Okay? Now, if you work on it more, if you spend more time with it, if you practice more, then you won't have that happen so much. Okay? If you practice more, you will have the words most of the time. But sometimes you forget. So what? It's okay. What's the difference between I believe you and I believe in you? I believe you is I know you're telling the truth. That's the truth. 这是真的. Okay? I believe in you. 这是加油,你可以啊. 我感觉你可以. Okay? Why do we need a guide or a teacher to learn a new language? You don't necessarily need one. You don't need one. If you go in the woods, you can go in the woods by yourself. Fine. Nobody is stopping you from going in the woods by yourself. But you can also talk to that guide. The guide who has been in those woods thousands of times. The guide who knows those woods very, very well. So if you go in the woods with the guide, it's a lot easier. He knows everything. He can explain it all to you. So learning by yourself is fine. But learning with a teacher is basically just like having somebody there to help you while you go. Okay? How should you practice learning new words? You should read this article. Can I help you? No. I can help all of you, but I can't help you. I have 88,000 followers. I help all of them. Okay? I can help everybody. Okay? You tried my advice. Now you can speak. Now you can talk with native English friends. You've been talking in English more and more than Hindi nowadays. Good for you. Good for you, Mudit. Congratulations. What's the difference between it's and its? Well, one is the apostrophe S, meaning it is, and one is a possession. Okay? Okay, so like it's like belonging to or possession by. I believe you. Yes, I believe what you said was true. 你说真的，对. Yeah, I believe in you. Come on, you can do it. Yes, I believe in you. I know you. 我知道你，可是我感觉你可以啊. Okay? 加油. That's what that means. I believe in you. You can do it. Okay? I need to go soon. Yes, day. It can also be it has. It's usually it is, but it also could be it has. Okay? So if I say it's been a long time, it's been a long time, it has been a long time. Okay? How do you pronounce the word segue? Segue. And what does it mean in natural conversation? It means a smooth transition from one thing to another is a segue. All right? So if I say, well, we're going to talk about vocabulary today. We're talking about vocabulary, and on that note, the vocabulary word we're going to end with is grammar. We're going to end with that word, and then the next thing we're going to talk about is grammar. That's a good segue. The last vocabulary word I discussed was grammar, because the next topic I'm going to talk about is grammar. That's a smooth segue. It's a transition. Why, when I speak in front of anyone, I can't speak as I used to speak when I'm alone? Because language is a performance. Language is a performance. Language is a performance. Language is a performance. If you can play the song perfectly in your room by yourself, that doesn't mean that you are a pianist. You're not a pianist until you go out and play that song in front of people. Now you're a pianist. If you play piano in your basement by yourself, you are not a pianist. You play the piano. But if you go out and perform in front of people, now you are a pianist. You are performing. So when you speak by yourself, you are not performing. Okay? If you want to perform, go out and speak. All right? Everybody can do it when they're alone. Everyone can do it when they're alone. I do speak with people, but I get distracted and I get anxious. So again, I will ask you this question. Can you ride a bicycle? Are you able to ride a bicycle? Do you have a bicycle? Can you ride it? Yes? Okay. And when you ride a bicycle, are you confident when you ride a bicycle? Do you feel confident? Or do you feel worried and nervous? Okay. So the question is, how did you become confident on that bicycle? You became confident on that bicycle by riding that bicycle. So the first day you ride, you're like this, and it's uncomfortable, and people are laughing at you. And the next day you ride, and you're like this, and it's a little uncomfortable. People are still laughing at you. The next day you ride, and it's like this, and it's a little bit better. The next day you ride, and it's like this, and it's much better. The next day you ride, nobody's laughing. Do that with speaking. All right? If you learned how to ride a bicycle, you got on and you felt awkward, you felt uncomfortable, you felt weird. You felt weird, but you did it anyway. And eventually you did it well, and then people stopped laughing. Okay? So if you can ride a bicycle and you can become comfortable, then you can speak and become comfortable. All right? It is that simple. It is that simple. Okay? I sometimes also use the analogy of swimming. Can you swim? If you can swim, most people when they started swimming, they didn't look good. They didn't look comfortable. They looked worried. You jump in the water. Ah, I'm in the water. What am I going to do? Right? But you keep getting in the water and you keep trying, and eventually you look good. Welcome to learning. All learning means you must be uncomfortable. All learning means you must be uncomfortable. There is a famous poet. There's a famous poet from Persia. His name is Rumi. He says something that I think is great. He says, all of your anxiety comes from seeking harmony. Seek disharmony and you will find peace. That's what he said. Let me say it again. All of your anxiety comes from seeking harmony. Seek disharmony and you will find peace. So what does that mean? What that means is very simple. It's what I just said. If you want to become comfortable on the bicycle, get on the bicycle and be uncomfortable. Seek disharmony. Get on that bicycle. Be uncomfortable. Eventually, you'll be comfortable. Okay? When you see a tunnel, if you see a tunnel in a mountain, right? There's a mountain and you see this tunnel. It's scary. It's dark. It's dark and scary. The tunnel is dark and scary. You're afraid. You don't want to go in there. But you go in. You go in. And when you go in, you see way down there, there's a light. There's a light way down there. And if you go further, the light gets bigger. And if you go further, the light gets bigger. And eventually you come out the other side. And after you go through one tunnel, after you have been through one tunnel, are you scared the next time you see a tunnel the same way? Are you scared if you see a tunnel the second time? No, because you've already done it. Seek disharmony. Go be uncomfortable. Don't run away from your discomfort. Run toward it. That's how you get through it. To get through it, you must go through it. Forward. Not around, not back. Forward. All of your anxiety comes from seeking harmony. Seek disharmony and you will find peace. Brilliant. How to think in English before speaking. Okay, I have an article about that right here. Noor, please go read that article. You need to subscribe to my blog to read it, but it's free. You just have to subscribe, okay? But if you read that article, then you can learn how to think in English. Okay? All right, guys, I need to get going. My voice is starting to get scratchy. It's been almost 2 hours. It's been 1 hour and 50 minutes. Yeah. Again, if you haven't followed me yet, I am Teacher Mark. I have been on Hello Talk for more than 12 years. I have 88,000 followers on Hello Talk. I have been teaching English since 2009. I have been a teacher since 1994. I have a website. Oh, no, here's my YouTube channel. All of my Hello Talk live streams are on YouTube. So if you watched this one today, if you like this one, if you want to watch it again, you can go to YouTube. You can watch this one again later. Okay? Here is my website. On my website, you can go to my website for free, and everything you need to study English, it's on my website for free. Okay? Don't tell anybody. And then finally, here is my blog. Those are articles that I wrote. Those are my answers. Those are my answers about how to learn vocabulary. Those are my answers about pronunciation. Those are my answers about grammar. Okay? Those are mine, not someone else's. Okay, that's it for me today, everybody. So thank you guys for coming and watching and following and participating. Have a good morning, have a good afternoon, have a good evening. And come back and see me tomorrow. I am usually here Monday through Friday in the morning in New York City time. Whatever time it is in New York City, okay? My time zone is the same as New York. So I'm usually here Monday through Friday around 9:30 or 10 or 10:30 in the morning. Okay? I start around that time. Okay? So today I have been here for almost 2 hours. It's 11:30 my time now, so I started around 9:30 today. Okay? All right. That's it for me. I have to go. You are welcome. Bye-bye, everybody. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.